Welcome to Women in Focus. Our Woman in Focus today is a young woman who is interested in music, dance, and all Indian. Her name is Priyanka Valaboju. You're most welcome in our program.
Thank you, Sushmaji.
Now I understand music is a part of your life. Now, what is the first memory of music learning or singing or performing?
Learning was my first memory. I remember ever since I was a little kid.
Yes.
My mom's, been teaching a lot of students and stuff like that, and so I remember so many students coming in and out of the house all the time. I grew up listening to her teaching them too, and so after a while I just joined them, and so that's how it was.
And you become a student.
Yeah.
Now your mother is a very famous singer.
Well, she's a good singer, yes.
And so your training has been primarily from her.
Yes, she was my first music guru. I've been learning from her ever since.
So what sort of music do you learn?
South Indian classical music.
Is it Carnatic?
Yes, it's called Carnatic music. It's another name for it.
Okay, what is the difference between Carnatic music and the regular Mumbaiya music?
Mumbaiya music? I don't even know what that is. I do know that there are two Indian classical music styles.
Right.
There's Hindustani music, which is North Indian classical, and then there's Carnatic music, which is South Indian classical.
Would you know the difference between both of them?
Of course.
Okay, give me an example.
Well, an example, the fact is that there was only one classical music in India a long time ago. But when the Mughals, as Akbar and Babur and them, invaded India, their influence, the Persian influence, changed music in the north.
Right.
And so that evolved into North Indian classical music or Hindustani music. Yeah, and so the Persian influence changed the style a little of singing, the kinds of things they sang about. Before, music used to be all about devotion.
Yes.
After the Mughals invaded, it became about, praising the emperor. It became more courtly music, more aesthetic and that sort of thing.
Right.
And then South Indian music stayed the same in the South, and, it evolved too. So, yeah, that's the difference.
Ah, that's very well put. Now, I see the difference between classical dancing, South Indian dancing, and the North Indian dancing.
Same thing. Again, Kathak. Kathak was, it has a lot of Persian influences.
Yes.
And it became, a courtly dance form. And South Indian classical music and dance in the South was also devotional, and they still kept that. The same thing.
Now, I understand you're also a Kuchipudi dancer.
Yes.
Now, Kuchipudi is a totally different style of dancing, right? Yeah. Okay, can you compare that with something that a layperson watching a program would know about? We just recently interviewed a dancer by the name of Shahrazad Cooper. She does
excellent dancer.
She's fantastic.
Fantastic.
And Sudhnia is another dancer.
So
compare their dance to yours.
Well, they're all Indian classical dance styles. There's 7 Indian classical dance styles. There's Odissi, Manipuri, Kathakali, Kathak, Kuchipudi, Bharatanatyam, and Mohiniyattam.
Mohiniyattam, okay.
Yes. And so Bharatanatyam is one. Bharatanatyam is from the state of Tamil Nadu in India, in South India. Odissi is from the state of Orissa in eastern India, actually.
That's right.
And Kuchipudi is from the state of Andhra Pradesh in South India. So they're all Indian classical dance styles.
So could I compare Kuchipudi to Bharatanatyam at all?
You could.
Yeah.
But there are subtle differences.
I mean, I know that Bharatanatyam is very rigid.
Okay, it's rigid and it's stiff. That's its style. That's how you do it. And Kuchipudi is similar, except that it's more graceful in the sense that there's a lot more. It's called Vayaram, the term in Telugu, and Vayaram means grace. And so if you notice a Kuchipudi dancer dancing, there's subtle differences between Kuchipudi and Bharatanatyam.
Oh, isn't that lovely? And again, the same with Odissi.
Odissi is difference. You can tell there's a big difference.
All the costumes almost seem the same.
Basically, they are the same, but there are differences. You can tell immediately. Like for Odissi, you have there's a different headpieces and all that.
Right.
Kuchipudi and Bharatanatyam, very similar, almost the same.
Apart from dance and singing, you also play musical instruments.
Well, the violin.
Wow. Why the violin?
I love the violin. Ever since I was a little girl, I always loved the violin, and so I wanted to learn one instrument. I felt it was very, you know, it was important you learn an instrument, especially when you're a musician. It helps to learn an instrument. It really helps.
Does it?
It does.
Okay. And I'll take your word for it.
Well, you know, so my mom, she sent me to India for a year and a half when I was around 13 years old. And I went to school over there in India, but the main purpose behind going to India was to take intensive dancing training, music and violin. And so that's when I started. Yeah.
I would have never thought that violin, of all instruments, would be adopted by Indians, because violin isn't an Indian instrument.
It isn't, no. But ever since the British came to India, it seemed like the harmonium. The British came to, it was a harmonica before, right? Before it came to India, and afterwards, all through this, you know, the decades and stuff, it became, you know, customized to Indian music and all that. It's the same thing with the violin.
I want to talk to you a little bit about your passions. You've got a lot of passions. What else have I missed anything?
I don't know. I love art.
So do you paint?
I paint, yes, I do paint.
Holy.
I actually won this agricultural art award when I was in grade 3, I think. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was an entire state when I was in grade 3, yeah.
And this is in India?
No, I grew up in Zambia.
In Zambia, okay.
Yeah, so when I was in grade 3, it was the Copper Belt Agricultural Art Award. So yeah, that was my first art prize.
So what did you draw?
I painted this forest with a lot of butterflies in it.
Do you have that?
No, I don't.
Oh, not even a picture of that?
No, I have the cup though.
We've got to show that.
We could.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll take a short commercial break and we'll come back and ask you some more questions about your passions and your philosophy of life, because I understand you are a daughter of a philosopher.
I am.
Don't go away, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Women in Focus. Our Woman in Focus today is Priyanka. Do you have a complicating life?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
Do you see things all in one complete order, or is it all a mess, or all a...
Oh no, I'm not that chaotic at all, no.
Really?
Really, yes,
okay,
really.
All right.
But the thing is, I do find that sometimes life can be a little difficult or a little challenging. Because when you have so many things to do, right? You have school.
Yes.
And university is very challenging. You know, it takes a lot of your time.
Third year?
I'm in fourth year.
Fourth year?
Yeah, last year of university.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm majoring in economics and a minor in business.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, how would that go with your artistic talents?
That's what I'm saying. See, that's the challenge. The thing is, there's music to do, and then there's dance, and there's violin. There's so many things to do, and then you have to like bring all these, you know, and try to accommodate them into your lifestyle. But since I really like them, I want to do them. But then, you know, there's so many opposing things to do. There's you know, midterms, exams, you know, assignments, stress, and you got to deal with this. So yeah, sometimes it is difficult.
But you have compartmentalized your life.
I'm
and your
trying
thoughts.
to. It's a challenge.
It is a challenge.
I'm still dealing with it.
Now, you were born and brought up in Zambia?
No, I was born in Secunderabad in India, which is in Hyderabad.
Yeah.
And then when I was 1 year old, my parents and me, we moved to Zambia because my dad got a job over there. Yeah, and so ever since then I've been in Zambia. I grew up there, elementary, everything.
So what language, native language do they speak there?
In Zambia?
Yeah.
They have a lot of languages, but the province that we stayed in, it's Bemba.
And do you know how to speak that
I unfortunately don't. Maybe a few words.
Not even hello in Bemba?
Oh, hello, yes, I do know hello.
Yeah, and how do you say that?
Mulishani.
Mulishani.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you say, we know, I'm fine, thanks. Yeah, the thing is, the problem was over there, you know, life is very sheltered.
Yes.
And so you went to private schools and you had nannies and that sort of thing. And in the private school, you weren't allowed to speak Bemba. You were only allowed to speak English.
Okay.
You know, you get in trouble. And so that's why I couldn't learn the language as well as I would have liked to.
So 14 years, almost 13 years for you over there.
Almost, yeah.
And then you went to India. Now, wasn't it difficult or different for you?
It was very difficult. Yeah, because the lifestyle is very different. You know, Zambia is a very sheltered lifestyle. And then you go to India, and then suddenly, you know, there was this incident, right? First time I went to an Indian school, I went there the first day, and this teacher asked me this question, like, what's your name? I was like, Priyanka. And I was sitting down. I didn't know that in India, when a teacher asks you a question, you're supposed to stand up and answer. I didn't know that. And she gave me this look, and she gave me such a scolding. You don't know how to respect teachers and this and all that. I was so shocked.
So whenever you saw her, you would stand whenever you
all teachers, but I didn't know that. See, that's just the normal thing in India.
Right? Yes.
So it's such a big culture shock that sort of way. Because I mean, in Zambia, you just put your hand up and you answer the question, right?
That's right.
I didn't know that. It was shocking. It was such a big change. But the whole point behind sending me to India was, you know, to learn, because you get the best gurus in India, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so after a while, you need you know, advanced lessons and training and all that.
So
India's
apart from your mother, who is your other guru?
Well, in music, I learned from my mom's guru in India for a while.
Oh.
Yeah. She has a couple of gurus. And then I also learned dance. I learned from Krishna Bharati auntie.
Yeah.
She's a student of Shobha Naidu, who's a very famous Kuchipudi dancer.
Fantastic.
And who promoted Kuchipudi dance. A lot of the world knows about Kuchipudi because of Shobha Naidu. She's a big exponent. And so anyways, my teacher in India, she was one of her disciples. Yeah.
And so you spent some time learning?
Yeah, a year and a half.
Wow.
Yeah, it was intensive. And I went to school too over there because obviously I was there.
So when you came back, you didn't go back to Zambia then?
No, I did go back to Zambia. Stayed there for a couple of months, and then we came to Canada.
And how was that?
Seriously, big culture shock. Oh my God.
And here you didn't have to stand.
It's such a sheltered lifestyle in Zambia, you know. I came here for the first time, and the school had a smoke pit. I didn't know that. I've never seen a kid smoke. See, that's how sheltered it is.
Yes.
I've never seen a kid smoke. And then I came over here and I was like, oh my God, Mom, you should have seen what happened in school today. I saw this girl. It was like, oh, wow.
So, I mean, this is amazing. So, from a very sheltered life to a very disciplined life in India to a very carefree, laid-back life in Canada. So, if I wanted you to choose one of those three, which one would you choose?
You know, I enjoy myself now in Canada. I like the freedom. I really do.
I knew that.
Oh, it's nice.
I should have laid a bet with myself. I would have won. Listen,
no, I like
now you live with your mom and dad.
Yeah, I do.
And you're finishing your university.
Yeah.
Any siblings, any brothers and sisters?
I have a brother. He's 2 years younger than me. His name's Abhishek. Yeah, so he's at UBC right now.
And what is he
studying
doing?
engineering, 3rd year.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So how is your relationship with your parents?
Oh, it's excellent. Yeah, they're friends.
Friends?
Yeah.
Not mom and dad?
Most of the time they are mom and dad, but they're friends too.
What do you want to do when you finish your 4th year?
Be a businesswoman. I don't know exactly in what, but I want to go into the HR marketing field, that sort of thing.
I want to talk to you a little bit more about your artistic talents, and we'll take a short commercial break and we'll come back.
Sure.
We're talking to Priyanka, who is our woman in focus today. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Women in Focus. Our woman in focus today is Priyanka, who is an artist. And now you said something about painting. Was that a childhood fantasy and then you stopped, or do you still do something?
No, I paint.
You do?
I love painting.
And what is it abstract, or do you paint?
No. I look at things and I paint them. I don't do abstract art.
So you have photographic memory?
I actually don't. That's why I look at a photograph and I paint.
So you have to keep that in front of you and then keep painting.
Yes.
Ah.
I'm an amateur artist.
Might as well just copy it.
Well, might as well.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Apparently it helps.
Now you're dancing. I've seen some beautiful pictures of you dancing. Now, in Bharatnatyam, because my cousin is a Bharatnatyam dancer, I know that there are different postures, different positions, different expressions.
Yeah.
Now, would the expressions be the same in Kuchipudi, like
it's all the
Navaras
same.
and all that?
It's all the same. Actually, Kuchipudi and Bharatanatyam are very close.
Okay.
Yeah, unless I guess unless you've seen it a lot and you might have learned it, then you might tell the subtle differences.
Right.
Otherwise, they actually look almost the same.
So where would you perform? Do you do a lot of performances of your dance?
I used to.
Yeah.
I just don't have a lot of time these days at university. It's my last year and all that. But I do a lot of performances.
No, I've noticed this with dancers, young women who love Indian dancing. I've got a niece who is just crazy about Bharatanatyam. When she found out that Nimi could teach her dancing, she was about 4 or 5 years old, and she would follow Nimi everywhere, and she would want Nimi to teach her. And she thought, you know, within a day she'd learn how to do all the hand movements. She's now 15 years old. I mean, it takes forever. But I've noticed that with you girls, and I'm going to use that expression. Correct me if I am wrong.
Okay.
Once you guys have gotten into your field, dance is the first thing that goes out of the door.
No, it does
or the window.
not. Unless you love it, you'll keep it with you. You'll
now
keep
you get married
it.
and you'll have children. How could you dance then?
How could you dance then? Do you know that one of the most famous dancers, she started learning dance at 40. Rukmini Arundale, she's a Bharatanatyam dancer. She started at 40. And she became a world famous dancer, and she did so much to promote Bharatanatyam all over the world.
Here goes the myth.
Well, I didn't want to.
So you can dance.
Dance.
Do you think you would continue?
I would. But I'm more of a musician, I've noticed. Like, you know, I have this passion for music. I don't think I have it as much for dance, although I do love dance. I think it's a beautiful art form, and I love that beauty.
Yes.
Yes.
Aesthetically, it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Now, music. I understand from your mother you've learned that as well.
Yes.
What sort of music do you like?
I love all sorts of music. I'm a big music fan. I love music.
So do you like Hindustani music? Do you like?
I love Hindustani music.
Bombay?
I love Carnatic music.
You love Carnatic?
I love pop.
Pop.
I love Latino.
Okay.
I love all sorts of music.
Could we hear a little bit of your vocal talents?
Sure. What do you want me to do? So,
anything. Give me an example of Carnatic music, because many people who are watching our program wouldn't know what Carnatic music is, because the only type of music that is very popular or
more well known
is the Bollywood type of
Bollywood
music, right?
That's popular music.
Yeah, that's
right?
popular music.
Yeah, we're talking about classical music over here.
All right, let's could you give us an example?
Sure.
Okay.
Alhama Rag.
All right. And which rag would it be? Because this program will be shown in the morning and evening, so you'll have to do both the ragas.
This will be Bhageshwari.
Bhageshwari?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of.
All right.
It's
you have to have your musical accompaniment.
It's a pitch thing. Yeah, it's called a Shruti box.
So what is
Shruti
that?
or Sur in Hindi.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
What does that do?
That gives you the pitch. It helps you keep that pitch.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Now, with that pitch, could you do a Latino song?
I don't know any Latino songs off like that. But I do like listening to Latino music. Yes.
I think it's the beat that you like.
I do. You know? I love anything with a beat.
Now, what you did just now is just the
It's
alap, which is going over the
notes,
the scales.
Yeah, the notes
right?
in a raga.
Fantastic. So now Bhageshwari is what? Morning, afternoon, evening rag.
Bhageshwari is actually an evening rag, I think.
Amazing. So that could be your calling in life. Apart from being a businesswoman.
Yes, music's going to be a big part of my life. I made a commitment to it, and yeah, I want to pursue it. But I don't know for how long, but it's going to be a big part of my life. It might be a second career also. You never know.
Once you finish with your education, you're in the last year, right?
Yeah.
Would you have to do something else to get into business? Would you need to work with somebody? What would you need to do?
Well, I have to work for a while, and eventually I want to do my MBA. And so yes, you have to work for a while before you can do it. Yeah.
And then get into music, maybe.
Well, I plan on actually going to India as soon as I graduate, right? I want to go into India, spend a couple of months with my mom's gurus and like really take, intensive lessons.
And repolish yourself.
Yeah, polish, you learn more. There's so much to learn. Music is an ocean, right?
Yeah.
Whenever you learn, you only learn this much. There's so much to learn. So much to do. You can never stop learning music. It's just too much.
What is it when you go, what is it that attracts you to India, apart from learning from all the gurus? Is there anything else?
India. Oh, it is.
Why do you love India? What is it about India that you love? Because, I'm asking you this question because I love India too, and I wasn't born there.
Okay.
I was born in Africa. I lived most of my life in England and in Canada. I lived in India for 3 years. Those 3 years were just amazing years of my life.
No, I love India.
What is it that you love about India?
First of all, it's the culture over there. India, we have, as Indians, we have such a rich heritage.
Right.
It's beautiful. And also, I'm fascinated by Indian history.
Okay.
And, and in ancient Indian architecture.
Right.
Fascinated with that sort of thing. And so, I love looking at those temples, the sculptures, the Purana Havelis. If you go to Hyderabad, it has beautiful architectural monuments like the Charminar, old Mughal, buildings. I love architecture, like Indian architecture, ancient Indian architecture, that too, specifically. And so there's so much to see in India.
So you'd just
it's such a beautiful place.
But would you be able to live there?
I would. I definitely would. I really want to go and live in India, but right now it doesn't seem too,
possible.
But that's a dream. I would love to live in India. It's a beautiful place. There's so much to do over there.
I wish all your dreams come true.
Thank you.
Because you're full of life.
Oh, thanks.
And that's what you need
to
fulfill all those dreams.
Yeah.
And it's been great talking to you.
Thanks to you
It's
too.
as if I've been sitting and talking to a friend.
Well, you're very nice to talk to.
Thank you for being our Woman in Focus today.
It's a pleasure.
Priyanka, who has been our Woman in Focus today, don't go away. We'll be right back because I want Priyanka to play her violin. And that is something that I'd like to see how she does. Violin is one instrument that I find very fascinating. It's so Western, yet it can pick up Indian tunes so beautifully. Thank you, Priyanka.
Thanks, Sushmaji.